Wow, so as I'm sitting here after finishing a heart open creative practice, um, and moving through a sort of shedding, kind of like weeding out, um, I realized that a lot of us have this idea of what healing is, and it's not linear. It's not something that's going to follow a straight path. It's a spiral, and sometimes a spiral crosses over each other. And looking out into the garden and seeing some of these like vines and different plants, and even some of them providing some fruits, is sometimes is intermingled, right? And I was trying to straighten them out, and as I'm doing it, I was like, oh, you're not even growing completely straight. You're like all twisted and intermingled and entangled with each other. And I think that's what happens. It's a reflection of our inner and our outside, right? Um, Healing is not going to follow a straight path. It is going to mix in with other things, and it's going to intertwine with others as well. And it's about discerning as to what needs to be cut out, what needs to be allowed to dissolve, what petals need to be allowed to fall to the earth, um, without blocking, without prematurely prying open the buds, without prematurely digging into the soil to check if anything's growing. It's trusting in that the healing process, it's natural. It happens on its own. There's nothing that we need to necessarily seek out to do. It's allowing it to be, because that's evolution. That's how we evolve. It's a constant process. There's constant change. And it's allowing the process to move through on its own. It's allowing the seeds and the roots to grow in their own time without constantly checking, unearthing it, forcing it, because as a spiral, things comes up when it needs to, right? It's moving through and poof, comes back up, and there it is. Now, what do? Now it's for you to see. Now it's for you to allow it to push through the earth and bring it up to the awareness, to the sun, to the light, right? Being illuminated. And in that, you can allow your second bloom. You can allow the new buds to start opening up, to start forming. You clear out the weeds, the beliefs, the patterns, the thoughts that need to be cut out without unearthing the entire plant, the entire process of the seed. And then usually what happens is, if you trust it, you surrender and you just watch and observe, and you allow the sun to shine through, the moon to rise, the waters to drop and flow. It's a natural process where the fruit will follow. The fruit will be produced. And I've noticed, as I've been in my own life, allowing that process to move through on its own, and being just an observer, and allowing my higher self, my inner self, to just take the lead, and my human self to just lean back and trust the guidance of my higher self, trust the guidance of the earth, trust the cycles, trust that it's all moving how it needs to, and observing just, the light and the dark and the moon and the sun and the eclipse and everything that happens, and the birds and the little creatures and the lizards and everything that sort of just attaches itself to everything you're going through. It's all part of the process. It each holds a extra message for more clarity to arise. And as I've been allowing myself to observe and just trust and surrender to the process, there are so many fruits arising. There's so many fruits growing. But in that, I found, and in that, there's been an inner sense of peace. Because what I found is that the outside, it may still reflect some chaos, some disorganization, some entanglement with the weeds and the plants and the vines. But if we just observe and we're trusting that it's also part of the process, there's no need to do anything. It's this inner calmness that allows our radiance to show through, to shine through, just our inner joy, our inner child, our play. And through that playfulness, we can see that it's not as serious as it seems to be. So this is just an invitation to observe. Again, that's the main message, it seems, over the past couple of channelings and transmissions that have come through. But it's more about leaning back, allowing your human self to sort of lean back and trust in the safety of the guidance of your higher self, of your soul, of where you're being led, or where you're being guided to. And step into this role of gardening, where you tend to it, you tend to your inner world, you tend to your responsibilities, you tend to what you need to do with trust, patience, love, and care, and see what fruits arise from that in its own time. Mahalo.